Jay-Z is one of the most successful people in the world, but that empire has not come without a few missteps. We've compiled a list of 7 missteps gone horribly wrong over the course of Jay's career. Number 7. Overpaying for Tidal. When Jay bought Tidal back in 2015 for $56 million from Aspiro, a Sweden company, we applauded. Hey, this guy is taking the music and the business to a level we haven't seen before. It's amazing. True. However, what we didn't know is that Tidal, which he bought for $56 million, was probably only worth something like $15 million. In other words, Jay-Z got duped. In 2014, Jay-Z formed a company called Project Panther Bidco to buy Tidal for $56 million. The company that owned Tidal at the time was called Aspiro. They had recently founded the company under the name WIMP, or W-I-M-P. Jay-Z decided he would make the purchase under the idea that they had 540,000 active subscribers. Wasn't the case. It wasn't immediately clear how many subscribers the service actually had when Jay took over, but a rep for Jay said it was quote unquote well below 540,000. Jay would go on to get his money back on Tidal, selling a portion of it to Sprint and another portion of it to Square for over $400 million. So he's good, but this was definitely a misstep. Number 6, signing Rita Ora to Roc Nation. In 2008, Jay signed the London-born Rita Ora to a Roc Nation record deal. After 4 years, her debut album finally dropped and produced 3 top 10 singles in the UK. Rita was poised to make some real noise in the music industry.
I haven't had any record deals before this one, and I hope this is my only record deal. He's just a very supportive boss, and he's just very honest, and he's very genuine, and he's very helpful, and he's so talented, and he's just great, and it's a great voice to listen to, you know? It's an amazing opinion to take on board and to achieve, so I couldn't ask for anything better.
And then it all fell apart. Rita would file a lawsuit against Roc Nation claiming the company was diminished, stating that there was no one left that she had a relationship with and the company had diversified its interest and she was no longer a priority. She wanted complete freedom. This one gets a little tricky because when Rita signed with Roc Nation, they were distributed by Sony. In 2013, a year after her album release, they switched to Universal. Sony still had interest in Rita's release. She owed another album. So Jay-Z agreed to let Rita go free, but also filed a countersuit so that she would have to deliver that second album to Sony. A countersuit worth $2.3 million. Now all of this would get settled and Rita would eventually go on about her business, but not before she left one last jab in Jay-Z. Remember the Beyonce Lemonade album? Well, many people speculated that the Becky with the good hair that was talked about in that album was Rita Ora. And she didn't help the cause when she posted this picture on her Twitter and Instagram during the time that Beyonce was making these claims. She went on to deny these things, but definitely created some havoc, both in the streets and probably in Jay-Z's household.
Rita?
Hi, what's up?
Rita Ora?
Hello, that's me.
Where are you from?
I'm from London, but I love America, so I'm usually here.
Let's move on to the next one. Number 5, his support for Cristal champagne, or what we used to call Cristal. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, Jay-Z was a big proponent of Cristal. He flaunted it all the time with lyrics like this,
sip the Chris and get pissy,
and lyrics like this,
Chris caseloads, I don't give a shit.
So Cristal is a champagne created in 1876 out of Russia. Very popular, very high class and elegant. Jay and Dame started drinking Cristal as a branding tactic. They used it to separate themselves from other crews in the streets. They would drink it in the club to signal to the streets that they were quote unquote elevated. But this would ultimately backfire because in a 2006 interview with The Economist, the managing director of Cristal, Frederick Roussard, was asked how he felt about the love Cristal got from hip hop, and he said, "What can you do? Can we stop them from drinking it? I'm sure Dom Perignon would like their business." Well, damn. That was a slap in the face to hip hop, but at this point, Jay had already made Cristal the staple drink for the culture and everybody was drinking it. So clearly he took the lead in the boycott and turning that around, but at this point he had already made them millions of dollars. Bad call, Hov. Number 4, his partnership with R. Kelly. Now, the reason his partnership with R. Kelly was a bad move is not what you would think. Obviously, the Best of Both Worlds tour collapsed. The album did well, but that partnership was publicly a disaster. But that's not even the real reason. Aaliyah, at the time, was dating Dame Dash, who was his business partner and best friend. Now, Aaliyah had a long history with R. Kelly. He had tried to marry her. They were together as a couple. They had worked together on music. Many believe the song My Mind's Telling Me No was about Aaliyah. But Aaliyah had reported that R. Kelly was a horrible person and had traumatized her during this relationship. And she shared this with Dame Dash, who shared this with Jay-Z. And Jay-Z, knowing that Aaliyah had expressed to Dame Dash that R. Kelly was a horrible person, Jay ignored that even at the behest of his best friend Dame Dash and went on tour anyway. Dame even forfeited any of the profits from the tour. He didn't want anything to do with the R. Kelly situation.
If you remember The Best of Both Worlds, you don't see my name on that. You know what I mean? And
your name is not on either album.
Hell no, I never wanted no parts of that. So when Holmes was doing that shit, I was like, bro, you know our homie violated, and he violated my girl. He violated a friend of yours. So, you know, when he moved forward with that, like me, I was like, yo, Dusko! I was like, yo, I don't want no parts of that. Put my part of that to Aaliyah's breast cancer thing, you know?
But Jay, seeing the opportunity to profit, went on the tour anyway, and it ended up being a total disaster. R. Kelly had a meltdown on stage. Jay-Z famously had him pepper sprayed. That turned into a case. It just became a total disaster. Bad move. Number 3, overprotecting Memphis Bleek. Now don't miss me, this is bound to be controversial because Memphis Bleek is dope and he's got his own hits and a lot of music, but we know that Memphis Bleek never became what we thought he was gonna become as Jay-Z's protege because Jay-Z played him too close in the early days of his career. He corrected this with J. Cole by giving him the space and opportunity he needed to mature, and look how J. Cole has blossomed. But he smothered Memphis Bleek. Jay-Z's success, and also in addition to the success, the close proximity that he would hold Bleek in interviews and records mentioning Bleek, even to the point where he felt the need to defend Bleek's success by saying Bleek can be one hit away his whole career. As long as I'm alive, he's a millionaire.
Bleek can be one hit away his whole career. As long as I'm alive, he's a millionaire.
I don't like that line, man.
Why?
Cause that line put a stamp on my career. Like, I feel like people look at me like that, like as if Jay just taking care of me, when that line was basically, I guess in his mind, was like a secure, like just a shout out. But people take it, you know, literally and serious, like I'm just chilling somewhere, I'm not working. As you see, I'm here. I gotta work. I got a little greasy depending on me. My son don't want to hear Hove got us. He want to know Dad got us.
Hove got y'all.
Nah, man.
You ain't got to tell him Hove got us.
Nah.
All you got to do is
Dad got it. You know what I'm saying?
Find yourself in a jam and shit, need a little cash, you come see me. I'll front you. Keep your shit.
Furthermore, Bleek's first album title was Coming of Age in 1998, named after a song on In My Lifetime Volume 2, also titled Coming of Age. On the song, they trade bars back and forth about Bleek becoming the big homie, while Jay is already the big homie.
Who me holding down this block, it ain't nothing, you the man, nigga, now stop fronting.
Great song, I love it, but it casted Bleek almost permanently in the light as the little homie. In addition to this, when Bleek's first single only peaked at number 33 on the charts, guess who was the guest artist on his second single? None other than Jay-Z. This would continue on his second album, The Understanding. It got so bad that when Bleek's records weren't working, Jay literally took a song off of one of his albums, gave it to Bleek, had him write to it, and put it out a second time as a Bleek single. I mean, the song was a banger with Bleek, Missy, and Jay. Is That Your Chick? But once again, this was Jay's song, and everybody could feel it. Did Bleek have the music and the charisma to become the new Jay-Z? That's debatable, probably not. But would he have been a bigger artist if Jay had backed up and let him develop his own lane without his influence? Possibly. Number 2, cheating on Beyonce. Not only would this produce a slew of bad press for Jay-Z, it would also produce a whole multi-platinum album dedicated to smashing him for the misstep. And also his first embarrassing moment caught on tape with the little sister Solange going ham on him in the elevator. Yeah, this has been covered by so many people we won't go into it, but you get it. This one deserves to be on the list. At number 1, Nas, Ether. This had to be the second greatest rap battle in the history of hip-hop next to Pac and Big. You have to respect Jay for dropping Takeover first, and Takeover was a phenomenal diss record where he took on a number of his beefs all on the same track and handled them well. But that gave Nas time to sit back and cook, and when Nas cooks, you get joints like Ether, which is probably top 2 diss records of all time. But that's not where the misstep happened with Jay. The misstep happened in his handling after Ether.
I think there was a moment even when Jay was like on the radio and he was like, yo, you know, mom said chill. His mom was telling him it was like, and my mom, bless her, was listening. And I was like, wow, that's what I knew. We both went too far.
Did you hear some of the records that he put out after that joint? Yeah, nah. He even went as far as accusing Nas of cheating? I don't really understand that. So I don't know, but his handling of the Ether record, yeah, nah. Which is why unanimously, in my opinion, Jay lost that battle. But it's all good, small thing to a giant. And that's your list. But I'm gonna tell you, listen, let's not be fooled. It took me a minute to find all of these because Jay, no matter what you think of him, has had a phenomenal career, and I applaud Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Rockefeller, Memphis Bleek, and everybody affiliated for what they've been able to build. But, you know, sometimes we got to show that even the best of us make mistakes and missteps. So if you pushing in your career and you moving and developing, don't be discouraged if it's not happening. Everybody runs into roadblocks, myself included. Let's keep our heads high. Let's keep building. Culture Decoded. It's your boy Vic. We out.